T-90, was created as another modification of the T-72. Serial production began in 1992 and continued until 2004. The T-90M Proryv, breakthrough, tank is a deeply modernized advanced version of the T-90 Vladimir. The development of the new tank took place in 2015 to 2018. Many of the improvements that were applied during the development of the T-90M were the result of the experience that the Russian military gained in Syria. In terms of combat effectiveness, the T-90M tank is significantly superior to its predecessor T-90, but at the same time it retains its advantages, such as exceptional reliability and a minimum amount of maintenance during operation. The T-90M Proryv features a new all-welded turret design protected by the Relikt Explosive Reactive Armour fitted at the front and on each side of the turret. The lower part of the turret is also protected by an anti-RPG metal net. The new turret module distinguishes the Proryv from previous versions. The crew looks at the enemy through a multi-channel sight with thermal imaging, television, sighting and rangefinder channels, as well as a missile control channel. The combat information and control system of the tactical level is integrated into the Kalina fire control system. Automatic target tracker and fire control computer are capable of automatically tracking and continuously locking the main gun on a target, based on input from various sensors, until the gunner decides to engage the target. All data about the situation, such as firing range, wind direction and speed, air temperature, tank position are taken into account and processed by the processor. The gunner simply needs to point the sight at the target and fire. The tank is equipped with the Buran-Panite sight and the Agates tank commander sighting system. The tank commander, regardless of the position of the tower, can conduct an all-round view, search, recognize and capture targets and transmit data to the gunner with automatic input of all corrections. Kalina allows the tank to participate in combat operations, being integrated into the command information network. This significantly increases the degree of effective interaction between various units. Maneuverability, speed, and range of the T-90M are provided by the V92S2F diesel engine with 1,130 horsepower. Speed on the highway, up to 70 km per hour. Speed off-road, up to 50 km per hour. Overcoming obstacles. Elevation angle, 30 degrees. Barrier, 0.8 meters. Ditch, 2.8 meters. The location of the fuel system is considered to be a weak and vulnerable point in the protection of the T-90 tank. The fuel tanks are not separated from the crew. Another problem with the safety of this machine is the placement of ammunition inside the tank. A more compact profile results in a greater operational range, up to 550 kilometers without the optional rear fuel drums, compared to 425 kilometers for the Abrams. The use of some components from the older generation of tanks should result in superior logistics and repair capabilities. The main armament of the T-90 is a 125mm smoothbore gun 2A46M5 with a new automatic loader. The gun is equipped with a stabilizer operating in two planes, has a system for accounting for the deformation of the barrel and a system for pumping out gases. The rate of fire of the gun is 8 rounds per minute. The ammunition load is 42 shots and includes armor-piercing subcaliber shells 3 BM42, armor-piercing cumulative shells 3 BK29M, high explosive fragmentation projectiles with an electronic remote fuse. The tank is fitted with 7.63mm remote-controlled anti-aircraft machine gun with 2,000 rounds or a 12.7mm cord MT machine gun with 300 rounds. The weight of the machine is very important. the lighter it is, the more maneuverable. And here the Russian T-90 weighing 48 tons has the advantage. All its rivals weigh more than 60 tons, the absolute record holder is the British Challenger. Its mass with ammunition is 75 tons. Because of this, the Challenger has low speed over rough terrain, only 40 km per hour. The entire road infrastructure of Ukraine is the infrastructure of the Soviet times. The bridges and crossings are designed for a maximum weight of 50 tons, which is not sufficient for the Western tanks. The smaller the tank, the more difficult it is to detect and hit it. The advantage of the T-90 is the compact silhouette of the tank. Its height is only 2 meters 23 centimeters. Leopard 2 is half a meter taller. The length of the body of the German tank is more than 7.5 meters, and taking into account the gun, it is 11 meters. The T-90 has the length with the gun extended forward, 9.5 meters. Russian and Western tanks differ in gun caliber, 125 mm versus 120 mm in favor of the Russian tank. The effective range of the T-90 is 4 km, while the Leopard and Abrams have 3 km range. In a tank duel, the T-90 will fire first. The smoothbore guns can fire ATGM anti-tank guided missiles. A missile is used instead of a shell, increasing the firing range from up to 5,000 meters. Western tanks also have smoothbore guns, except for the British Challenger. This is the only tank with a threaded gun barrel. Intense fights can lead to rapid gun barrel wear. In addition, threaded guns do not fire heat missiles. But the British Challenger has the firing range of 8 kilometers. Challenger can only use British ammunition. The main difference between Russian tanks and Western ones is in the automatic loading system. All NATO tanks have manual loading. The automatic loading system allows to fire faster. The process of loading takes 6 seconds. It also allows to have a crew of 3 people. US and European tanks have a crew of 4. On the other hand, the American and European tanks have ammunition stored behind a special partition, giving crews a better chance to survive a hit. The American Abrams has a gas turbine engine, which is refueled with aviation kerosene, which will have to be supplied to Ukraine from NATO countries. The German Leopard maneuvers well on rough terrain, but the armor of the sides is vulnerable to RPG-7. The Leopard has more advanced surveillance devices and thermal imagers but does not have protection against heat, high explosive anti-tank missiles. The French Leclerc tank surpasses the T-90M in terms of automation and electronics, but at the same time it has a much higher production and maintenance cost. The cost of T-90M depends on the modification. It ranges from $2.5 to $4.5 million. By comparison, the Israeli Merkava 4 costs $6 to $6.5 million, the British Challenger 2 to 8.3 to 8.6 million, the French Leclerc 10 to 12.3 million, the American Abrams 20 million, German Leopard 2A7V over $20 million. Abrams can travel only 386 kilometers before refueling, unlike the T-90, whose reserve is more than 480 kilometers. The new T-90M engine is as powerful as the American engine, but Abrams is 20 tons heavier, and mobility has suffered as a result. Due to the fact that the T-90M is equipped with the Relikt dynamic protection, the tank is now as protected as the Abrams. The French Leclerc is armed with a 120 mm smoothbore gun with a resource of 400 rounds. What will happen after 400 shots? NATO tanks have never operated without air cover, they have never been attacked by aircraft of a technologically advanced enemy. India has become one of the main operators of T-90S tanks with more than 1,000 tanks. T-90 in service, Algeria 400 units, Russia approximately 900 units, Azerbaijan 100 units, Vietnam 64 units, Uganda 44 units. Until the arrival of Armada in large numbers, the T-90M will remain the most modern tank in service of the Russian army.